today with anti-itch shampoo.
You look beautiful.
Welcome, everyone. Hey. Welcome to Theme Park Chicken, a clean comedy podcast where we ask the most important question in themed entertainment. Are you a theme park chicken? I'm your host, Robin Ellsworth, joined today by my two co-hosts, Brer Rabbit, Chelsea Packer.
That's me.
And Brer Bear, Brandon Ellsworth.
What's up?
What could we be talking about?
We're not talking about what you think. We're not talking about what you think. We're talking about, well, backstory. We were watching Toy Story the other day.
Watching?
We're watching Toy Story on the podcast.
I'm down. Let's go.
Okay, me too. We watched Toy Story because we checked it out from the library because we don't have Disney Plus anymore because we got kicked off your parents' account. If this is your first episode listening to us, Brandon and I are married, and Brandon is Chelsea's brother.
Wow,
so
big M word.
And I pay for Disney Plus in my house.
So we freeload.
We are
Chelsea...
also very much.
Don't admit anything else. If any of the subscription people are listening, you're in trouble.
Oh
We're
my
the
gosh.
youngest.
Oh my gosh. We mooch off of
Chelsea
everything.
is the firstborn.
Nice.
And
That's
I
a nice
am
way
the
of saying old.
fifthborn.
Chelsea also pays for our Peacock subscription.
Chelsea is the firstborn, and she
I
has
want
her
you
life
to be
together.
able to access. I think we don't understand how big of a Minions and Despicable Me stan I am in this house. That I am like, everybody should have Peacock so they can watch these movies. You're welcome.
It's so
Psych.
kind of you.
Mhm.
And Psych and Alfred Hitchcock
And
and
The
all this stuff and The Office. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
actually watching Parks and Rec on Peacock right now,
We're watching The Office.
Yeah.
so I got distracted.
Okay, well, we were watching Toy Story, which is one of your family's favorite movies, Andy's favorite
Not
movie
on
ever.
Yes.
Peacock.
We were watching on the DVD player because we got kicked off Disney Plus. We got a DVD player. We checked it out from the library. Okay. I haven't watched the movie in probably 15 years, and I was like, this movie is great.
Yeah,
And I forgot how good it is.
it's so good.
It's so good. And Kit sat down and watched the movie all the way through.
Yes.
Entirely.
Like, she never, ever, ever does that.
Yeah, that's my girl.
So she also loved it. So,
So I
As
should
we're
have
watching
gotten
it-
her the Woody dress from Disneyland.
yes!
Oh, she would've.
She would have loved it. We were watching, and I was thinking about Slinky Dog.
Mhm.
And I was thinking about this other show that I love called Podcast The Ride. And they did an episode on Ernest. Did you guys know who Ernest is?
I know, and Ernest.
Like the Ernest goes to something. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Because it's multiple things. It's not just he
Yes.
does one thing. He goes to somewhere. Goes to blank.
Yes. Ernest goes to...
Also, Ernest is a very common name. You could have meant anything with that question.
Is it? Is it? How many
Ernest?
people named Ernest do
I
you
think
know,
I know
Brandon?
like 5 Ernests.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look at your Facebook friends right now and let's see if that's
Not
true.
currently, but in
Oh,
my
okay.
life, there's been
Sure.
5.
Sure.
Well, this Ernest is actually actor Jim Varney, who voices Slinky Dog. So
Got it.
I learned about this special Ernest Goes to Splash Mountain from Podcast The Ride. And I was thinking about Ernest / Jim Varney as we're watching Toy Story. So we're talking about Ernest Goes to Splash Mountain.
Amazing.
Okay, have you seen it?
No.
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
Can we watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about
Every
20
country.
minutes long. So,
Cool.
I think we're gonna pause and watch
Everybody pause and go watch it
We're-
and then come
it.
back.
Pause.
We're going to
watch
have
it,
our
come back.
intro music on loop for 20 minutes.
20 minutes
No,
of
we're
intro
not.
music.
No, we're not.
Don't skip ahead
20 minutes ahead.
Open
and you
another
will get
tab.
to probably talk.
Play both at the same time. Mute us.
Okay.
Right here.
Ernest Goes to Splash Mountain, everybody. Okay, we're
Okay.
gonna pause and we'll come back when we've watched it.
We're going to be
Okay.
on different sides now.
I know. I'm in the middle.
I'm on the left.
We're back. What did you guys think about Ernest Goes to Splash Mountain?
He must have been big.
What?
Like stardom.
Oh yeah, he's a big deal.
Oh yeah, he's a huge deal.
That was also before he was Slinky Dog. like by several years. He already was an established name by the time he got Slinky.
Wow.
Did you know about Ernest at all, Brandon? Like, I knew vaguely from seeing the DVDs and stuff that we had.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Didn't know it was a thing. I thought it was a fever dream for the first 5 minutes, honestly.
Chelsea, do you want to explain Ernest to Brandon?
Ernest is a guy, and he did things, and he had his little Daredevil studio with Vern, and he just would go and do things and then show it to people. Kind of like how we talk about theme parks. He would just go do things and be like, oh, Ernest goes somewhere and does something. And you'd be like, that sounds interesting. I'm going to watch that. And it was a big deal. Very cool. Very popular thing. Huge guy in the 80s.
He's just a YouTuber.
He was, yes.
He's a comedian, though. Mm-hmm. So Ernest was, I'll just give you the overview, okay? Ernest P. Worrell was a fictional character portrayed by the actor Jim Varney. He became popular in the 80s through a series of commercials and then later his own comedy films like Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Saves Christmas. It was like Chelsea said, Ernest does something.
It's a big deal.
Huge deal. He had like so many of these. And when he says like, I don't want to say it, I'm going to mess it up. His catchphrase is like, know what I mean, Vern? And Ernest was like a Southern everyman is what they call him. And he's had a cult following for like the slapstick humor. So he was super famous. And
Vern is the audience.
Vern's like off screen. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And Jim Varney was an actor, comedian, writer, and he was a stage actor before becoming Ernest, and then he just became Ernest. It was super, like, that became his most recognizable role in his career. Then his brand, yeah, thank you. And then also he was Slinky Dog in all the Toy Story movies. But he did pass away in 2000 from lung cancer at only 50. So gone way too soon. So that's a little bit about Jim Varney. But anyway, so there you go. That's your background about Ernest.
I looked it up while I was watching the video, who the first person to ride Splash Mountain was, and it said Ernest Worrell, not Jim Varney, which is just how, like, truly dedicated he was to that character. Like, I have to wonder how many times they filmed that. Like, how many times did he actually go on it? Because they got angles, they got shots of him doing things. Like, he did not break character once. He is in the zone the entire time, and, like, you're the first person ever on Splash Mountain. You don't want to look around and look at things. You're just going to act the whole time. No, he was in it. He was focused. And if he did only ride it once, the dedication to being that character, so much so that, like, you look it up and it says Ernest was the first person on this ride, not Jim Varney, the person, is crazy.
And I was thinking too, like, when he has this like oxygen mask, I was like, either someone was like waiting and like chucked it at him, like, okay, go, like, or they had to do it multiple times. Like, I love this. I loved it.
Yeah, I liked the part where that lady was interviewing Bruce Gordon, and he was just like, and he would just say like one word, and she's like, "Thank you for that."
Thank you.
He's got all the answers. I also found it very interesting that there was 0 mentions of Tony Baxter throughout the entire video.
Tony erasure. I don't appreciate it.
He was like, I'm going to be behind the scenes. I'll hand you the oxygen mask. Don't show anyone.
Yeah, Tony's like, I actually wrote Splash Mountain first, but okay. So I learned about this. I knew about Ernest vaguely, like in passing, but I learned about this special because of the Podcast Red episode. But in it, Scott, who's one of the hosts, talks about how this special came out when he was a child, and it terrified him to the point of like not riding Splash Mountain for the majority of his life. And it's pretty intense, I would say, like the hype that they're trying to build up, like this is a thrill ride, like Disneyland is for teens and all this stuff. So I wanted to ask Chelsea, do you think that this would scare your kids?
Maybe. The thing is, it didn't scare me. Like I'm bragging about it. I was like a month old when Splash Mountain opened, which I found out today. I thought Splash Mountain was older than me, and it's not, which is weird. Wrap my brain around. I'm older than Splash Mountain, and I outlived it. Wild.
Gone too soon.
Gone too soon.
But I still went on it, and I did watch some Ernest things. I don't know that I watched that particular segment before as a child. I don't remember it. Again, 1 month old, so who could say? But I did go on Splash Mountain as a child, and it was fun, and it's still scary. And all my kids who were tall enough at the time did ride Splash Mountain when we went to Disneyland. So, or yeah, it was Splash Mountain then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest
Yeah.
in peace. I'm like, did they? Did they? Yeah, they did. And so if they had watched that before, would it have scared them? I mean, maybe, but it also might have just made them more excited to be like, oh, I remember that part. Oh, I remember that part, you know?
I think it definitely depends on the kid.
Depends on the kid.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm almost too scared to go on it now.
Yeah. Brandon, what did you think about it? Not having exposure to Ernest.
Like I said, I thought it was a fever
Other
dream.
than the 5 Ernests that you apparently know in your life.
Yes.
Yeah, those guys are much less. They're more mellow, that's for sure. No, I was like, I looked up who was the first person on Splash Mountain because I was like, is this like a bit? What are they doing?
It's for real.
It's just, and then they started saying like all the features of the ride, and I was like, okay, so this is just like the marketing for the ride, which I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, like, good on you, but I was still like, is this how all of the Ernest episodes go? Like a newscast is like telling everybody what's going on, and then it would like cut back and forth between Ernest and the news. I was like, snip, snap, snip, snap. What am I watching right now? But it was fun to watch, I guess, because I knew where all the shots were taken, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I know where that's at. Oh yeah, that's right next to Goofy's candy shop. And yeah.
Goofy's
Do you
candy
mean
shop?
Winnie the Pooh?
Well, they sell Goofy candy.
Goofy's candy shop.
Yeah.
And Winnie
I
the
don't know
Pooh?
what it's actually called.
It's also, it's not even Winnie the Pooh, is it now? Now it's, isn't it Bayou themed now?
I'm pretty sure it's still Winnie the Pooh because the Winnie the Pooh ride is right there.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I'd have to double check.
I think maybe I'm
usually-
thinking of Raised Berets.
You
But,
might be. I usually
yeah.
avoid that area of the park. It's so funny because as I was looking it up, I was like, well, if that was there in 1989, what was there before that? Like Song of the South as a movie isn't popular now. Disney is hiding it, pushing it down so no one will ever even know about it. But like it was very popular in the 80s. It came out in the 40s. But obviously it was popular enough that they were promoting it in the 80s and making this whole ride out of it. So like what was there before? So I looked it up. And it was bear country, and they had like a cave and you could hear a bear snoring, and before that it was like a Native American like scenery thing. So I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting, and they would have like Native American dances and they would invite the kids to join and do all that stuff. But now thinking about it, that corner of the park is really crowded. So every time I want to take my toddler Teddy onto the Winnie the Pooh ride and I have to park the stroller clear over by Galaxy's Edge and like in the stroller parking area and walk him over to Winnie the Pooh and walk through the big crowds on there where it's bottlenecked, I don't like doing it. And I'm like, what was here before? That they needed to bring more people over to this corner of the park, which they've done so successfully now that it is so crowded.
Yeah, and there's no outlet. There's no outlet. It's
There's
nice.
no outlet. You're stuck.
It's nice
but
that
you go out.
we have the new outlet that brings you to like Star Wars.
Yes.
But it was a fun, just kind of U-turn to get just stuck in.
You get there, you maybe do a canoe ride, you go back.
You get stuck. You go too far. Good luck.
Yeah.
I like that you researched that because I had never even heard any of that
I was so
before.
curious because I was like,
Yeah.
Splash Mountain is younger than me? That's crazy. So what was there when I was born? And I had to figure that out. I was curious.
I wonder if, because you remember on Splash Mountain how they had the bear, like you can hear bear snoring?
Yes,
I wonder,
and that is a nod to the snoring bear
yes.
from Bear Country.
Wow.
Yeah.
I learned something new. Yeah. I was going to point out that I guess
Makes
in your
sense why
lifetime
Winnie
then,
the Pooh's there, because he's a bear.
he's
He
a
is
bear. So it's in your lifetime it's been Bear Country, Critter Country, and now Bayou Country. So
Yes.
it seems like they can't really get a handle on what they want this to
The
be.
bear they want. Brandon,
An
I found out
owlbear.
the other day, I was watching someone's video that if you turn around while you're riding the Winnie the Pooh ride, you can see the heads from Country Bear Jamboree. So it's still technically that kind of bear country.
That was one of the earliest like Disney behind the scenes facts that I knew as
so
a
cool.
child. Yeah,
That's so
because
fun.
it was in one of my
I can't
one
turn
of my
around
books.
on that ride though. You're going like this.
Oh no.
No, it literally, it's like I remember the first time that I looked back and saw them. I was like,
Nausea.
whoa! It's
I was
real.
like, I didn't know Winnie's a
It's
hunter.
already a trippy ride as it is, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna turn around for this. Whose idea is this?
And I didn't know that because I didn't know anything about Country Bear, so I thought for the longest time that they like took the heads off the animatronics and mounted them. Like I didn't realize they were just mounted like before, and I was like, "That's horrible! Like why would they?" Do that?
That's really funny. If everything ever replaces Chuck E. Cheese, we can do that to them.
Yeah, just mount Chucky's head on my wall.
Oh
No,
my gosh!
Carrie told me that when I went with James one time, and
nice.
then we saw it when we were like in 6th grade.
She does know a lot of good Disney trivia.
Yeah.
She also changed my opinion on the storybook ride, the canal boats, because I was like, I'm not gonna ride that. It's hard to take Teddy on there and step down into the boat and all the things. And she was like, you need to love that ride, and I will send you multiple videos of why. And she did, and it was awesome, and it's really cool. Like it's genuinely an awesome, cool ride. So I did make the effort to take Teddy, and he loved it, obviously. So
It's so good at night too. That's one of my faves. That's one of Ariel's faves too. Okay.
yeah, Carrie, send Brandon the video of why he needs to ride this ride.
Oh my gosh!
we
Oh, he's gone.
He's going to watch a video right
like,
now. That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Is he okay? Did he
I don't
die?
know. You should make plans while he's not here to go to the 70th anniversary and watch Paint the Night.
Hey, there you are.
So what were we talking about?
Paint the Night parade.
Okay, well, we're gonna watch Paint the Night. Yeah, Brandon, I actually am down. Wait, you're at 0%, so I want to make sure. Okay, you're good. Okay, so I liked the quote. We learn about the ride, the man, and the meaning of courage.
Yes.
Is that how you feel when you go on Splash Mountain? You learn
That's how
about
I
the
feel.
meaning of courage.
When I take my kids on Guardians, maybe, but not Splash Mountain particularly. I don't know. I'm not scared of Splash Mountain or Tiana's. I did try it, and I single ridered the line, which was awesome because it was so much faster. And it was like freshly open, so the line was long. And I was like, oh, I can single rider this, and I walked on. It was amazing.
Okay, we haven't talked about the fact I didn't even know that you've been on it.
Yeah, I have just once. So,
okay. Did you like
just
it?
once? And I did. I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was better than the videos we had watched for it. I think it might be the spacing in Disneyland. I was still like, oh, screens, that's kind of lame. Oh, things are kind of lame. But I had a really good log flume with girls behind me singing all of the songs as they were hyping it up, and I was like, okay, I can't resist a good hype up. So
You had
they're
a log
singing. I'm
hype
like,
man.
I did. That's all I ever wanted. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'm into it. So if you get good people on your log, even if you don't know them because you single ridered, it's awesome. And it was fun. I'm still going to miss Splish Mountain. Splash Mountain.
Splish Mitten.
Splish Mitten. But it was good for what it is. I think it would be like a better Lion King ride or something else. But, I'm not going to complain except for my kids are calling me. Hold on. What? He walked away.
On my DSi XL, there's a recording, and I wanted to see. I wanted to see if you said race car, I could record my voice on my DSi XL, and I could make it higher. Like,
got it.
And I was 10 when I got this thing. Okay,
yeah,
fascinating.
It's a big deal.
You could make my voice higher, or you could reverse it, flip it around. Okay. So I have a recording on my DSi XL of I press start. Mom says, Chelsea. Chelsea says, what? I say race car. Wait, sorry, I got it wrong. Mom says, Chelsea. I say race car. Chelsea says, what? So I'm like, okay, let me record it.
It's like,
let's hear it backwards.
Yeah, let me hear it backwards. And I hear it backwards. And I listen to this thing so freaking much. Let me just tell you. If you want to say race car backwards, it's rocks here. If you say rocks here and you play it backwards, it'll sound like race car.
Good to know.
But because I had Chelsea race car, what? It was that exact tone, and I would listen to it over and over and over and over again, and then I would say race car backwards to try and fix it. So Sorry, Chelsea said what, and it was exactly like it is on my
What?
DSI.
I never changed.
Yes,
I love that.
Chelsea.
I've had mom voice since
What?
I was 11.
Well, that brings me. I was gonna say you find out the meaning of courage as a mom when you take kids to Disneyland, just like
Yes.
point blank. That's the meaning
Holding
of
them
courage
on
right
Splash Mountain like this.
there. I got you,
Don't
baby.
fly off.
Okay,
Oh, Brandon.
what is going on?
I'm not the problem. I want that on the
No,
record.
no.
Leave it in. Leave it in.
Well, I'll just keep going. He'll come back. There he is.
He's back.
Why? What's going on?
You're
Brandon?
stealing all my Wi-Fi.
Sorry.
bad.
I felt like this was super weird that they make the Splash Mountain drop look like Willy Wonka's tunnel.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a little
You know
disconcerting.
what? I should make Andy watch this then because he's loving Willy Wonka right now. He already loves Slinky Dog. Like, this is going to be a good video for him to watch.
I kind of would like to know what his reaction would be. Like,
I'll
if
let
you
you
could
know.
report back next week, like, hey, he watched it, he thought this, or maybe he can come tell us.
He might love that.
Yeah, I kind of want to know.
That's why, as an adult, you avert your eyes because it doesn't make sense to the adult mind.
Whoa.
Good point. There was one quote in here that I think I need to figure out how we could do this, but I think we should put it on merch somehow. But it says, "You show me the mountain, I'll ride it." And I feel like it'd be on something.
Find a mountain.
Make it a sticker.
Space mountain.
Maybe not a
Splash.
shirt,
Yeah,
but a sticker.
I think, yeah.
My favorite one
Matterhorn.
was "Wish I'd brought a book."
Yeah, I
Because
like that too.
if those vultures didn't talk to you, that's a long ride up.
Looking back at that part of Splash Mountain gives me the worst heebie-jeebies. Like, even
I
just
started
thinking
singing.
about it.
I started singing along as he was going up with, like, not the music that was playing, the actual music that was on the ride. And I was just like, this will make me feel better and make it take less time.
I was gonna
Did
say,
they have that music on
they,
opening day?
yeah. Did they change
I
their
don't-
music? Because it was not the same song that I was used to.
Totally, I mean, they must have.
I couldn't tell you. I was a month old and living in a different state.
Don't remember.
But if you're on the incline and you look back, there was like, you could see all the lights, right? There's like purple, orange,
Who's
yellow,
looking
whatever.
back?
Me. You look back. You see the lights shining up at the tunnel entrance. And you see Brer Rabbit he's all tied up.
Yes.
And then you see the lights like, it's hidden behind like a wall, but you can see the light shining on him. Like, it's like, just like, ugh, like, it makes you
Eerie.
feel horrible inside. I did it every time.
Don't look back.
Don't
Learn a
look back.
lesson. I just need to sit backwards on Tiana's now and see what I can see.
It's gonna be worse.
That's one of my, like, I am always doing that. I don't know why. Well, maybe because I'm interested in theme parks. I don't know. Okay, so there's two quick comments I wanted to highlight from the YouTube video. Someone said, they said this was Roger Smith 00, and he said it's hard to understate just how gigantic Jim was in the 80s to the 90s. He was a cultural touchstone, and that's kind of what I feel like you've said so far, Chelsea.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Yeah, and you remember, like, even if you haven't seen an Ernest something in forever, it's like,
I said it before we
just
even
remember it.
like got on the topic. I was like, Ernest goes to something.
yeah,
That's
you
it.
knew, and it's probably been, I don't know, 20 years
At
since
least.
you've seen anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like,
I'd say 27 years since you've seen anything.
yeah, since Brandon doesn't know what Ernest is. When you watch Toy Story and you hear Slinky Dog, do you think Jim Varney or do you just think Slinky Dog?
I think Slinky Dog, and I think that's part of the reason that they said that Ernest was the first person who wrote it, because he is so deep into character. You don't see Jim Varney anymore. You see the character that he has become.
Phenomenal
That's fair.
actor. Really, really great. Someone else, this is Ian Sane, said, I remember watching this when I was a kid. The only part I remembered in detail was him saying there wasn't a lot of oxygen at the top. I would have been 8 at the time. Ernest was huge, and the hype for Splash Mountain was huge. The special made the ride look really scary, more so than it actually is. Back in the days before the internet, a special like this was a treat because there really was no other way for me to look up the details of what a new ride at Disneyland was like. That's cool.
That's cute.
They don't really do stuff like this anymore because everyone
They
just
kind-
vlogs it for them, I feel like.
They have influencer days now, and they
Yep.
have media previews for like Epic Universe. Invited all those influencers to come down and see all the things, which is cool.
Who was the first person on Tiana's?
I don't know.
Not
a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Watch it be Tony Baxter, and I think that's the worst person.
Yeah, I mean, they had to have tested it like at night with the Imagineers, right? This was the media.
No, I don't think Ernest was.
The
I
first
don't
person.
think he was the first human being that rode Splash Mountain. I think Jim Varney's too valuable for them to do that.
I mean, that's what they tested it. They were like, we tested it with sandbags, but
would have made for a good story. Do it live.
It's impossible to. Okay, you know what's crazy is that was 1989, but Tiana's, which just opened, it's impossible to definitively say who was the first person to ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It wouldn't be if you were paying attention.
No. They could have made a thing out of it. They totally could have. Who's like a is there like I don't know if there's a real like a character nowadays, but someone that is like someone like Keenan or like Lin-Manuel Miranda or someone that just like has a big personality everybody recognizes.
The Rock.
You know, The Rock. Yeah. They could have done something like that.
Anika Nani Rose.
Why didn't they do that?
Who?
That would have been really smart.
That would have
Maybe
been
she's scared
really
of the ride,
smart.
though.
They did tons of promotion, or I don't remember her name, but the actress that plays Grandma or Mama Odie could have done it. Like
she could have.
Maybe
they're all scared of log flume rides, and I get it.
We don't know.
They need a hype man.
They need a hype man.
Have you seen the James A. Caster Netflix thing?
Which one? The one you made me watch?
Special? Yeah.
No.
he talks about a log flume hype man in there.
Yes. Yes.
Why didn't we have
that?
James A. Caster could have been the first person on
He could have been on the podcast.
I don't think we could get James A. Caster.
Get him on
the podcast.
You
don't know. We got our dad.
Well, you're so right.
I was going to name any other guest we've had, but I was like, Dad.
We have influence.
Yeah. He's our influencer. Okay, we'll contact James A. Caster to see if he wants to come in. So I have a question for you guys. If you were going to go on one ride at Disneyland, Ernest style, so parade down Main Street, posters of your face, everyone's screaming your name, they're clapping as you get on, they're going, Chelsea, Chelsea, Brandon, Brandon. What ride would it be?
Thunder Mountain.
The Rockets.
The Rockets.
Astral Orbiter?
Yeah.
He doesn't even know the name.
Yeah.
Because I was going to give you a pass if it was like Buzz Lightyear the Rocket Ride or Space Mountain the Rocket Ride, but Astral Orbiter?
Yeah.
Discount Dumbo?
The thing that I love about Brandon, but the thing that makes, like, I have to remind myself this a lot whenever something happens. I'm like, he always roots for the underdog. He always roots for the underdog. And this is one of those times.
Think about it. You could have such a big crowd, and everybody would get to see you multiple times. You could have people out to the Walt Disney statue, and they'd still see you the whole time.
Wow, this is the most passionate you've been on the podcast. You
can
go all the way around Thunder Mountain.
And it's a short ride. Not the whole time they wouldn't be able to see you on Thunder Mountain. It's a short ride, so you wouldn't have to act.
I don't
want to
see him the whole time. That way I could act and cover my face occasionally. Be like, goat.
Yeah, you're in the dynamite, but I'm sitting there going in circles.
Up and down, up and down,
I go down. I made the best
Robin,
choice.
what would you pick?
Doesn't even matter what Robin picks. I made the best choice.
Well, I was gonna pick.
She's gonna pick Rise of the Resistance.
She's gonna
but
pick
where's
Matterhorn.
the crowds,
She's
Robin?
She's picking Matterhorn, and you know it.
I wasn't picking the Matterhorn.
No, she's on Nemo. When she emerges out of the sub, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing there? You took a nap because nobody saw what you were doing."
In the fart tube.
I was gonna say Indy, but go off.
If you want visuals, Autopia would be good because then people see you occasionally, and you're like, "Hey!" Hey.
I was gonna say Indy because that one's the most fun to act out as you ride it.
That's true. That's a good one. And you could ride next to Harrison Ford, which would be so fun.
I'm sure he would be totally down for that and totally excited.
And not grouchy at all.
Not grouchy at all.
No.
In terms of like
Pirates
people
would be fun.
Pirates would be fun. Like, I wasn't even thinking space-wise of how many people could be there to cheer you on. But Brandon, with the Rockets, you could get all of Main Street, all of Tomorrowland, all the way up to Frontierland, the castle. I mean, that's a lot of people.
Hear me
I'm
out.
a people pleaser.
People mover.
The People Mover. If they reopened it, if it was back and you got to be the first person on it,
that would be legit. Disneyland, call me. No, I wouldn't. I'm trying to get it closed again.
But then you'd be the only person to ride it, and within a century, within a millennium, because they would never open it again after you did that.
Gosh.
He's the youngest Sega in a century.
Magic Kingdom People Mover is like, couldn't be us. We're okay.
Yeah, okay.
Canoe.
Ooh, that's probably a better choice.
Thanks. Just I'll put myself with just
You're
one.
the only one on the
little guy telling jokes to me, and I'm like, I got this. I can do it.
As
or you
you're,
go back to Tom Sawyer's
staring
Island.
into the dirt. That's what I would be doing. You're crying.
Mark Twain.
You could
canoes without the work.
You'd go back to Tom Sawyer's Island.
Yeah.
So Brandon's in the Rockets, and he's just spinning around, and everyone's cheering. But Chelsea's trying to get the crowd to look at her because she's single-handedly taking this canoe around.
And then she gets lost in the wilderness because nobody can see where she's at.
Because the wilderness must be explored.
What if you went underneath the train bridge and found yourself back in time, like where they have the Native American dioramas there, but what if you found the old bear country back there somehow?
Wow.
Rare.
That'd be
and
crazy.
You were the first person to see it.
Wow. I would be on Wikipedia.
Who do you think the first person to hear the bear noise was? The bear sleeping.
Probably Tony Baxter.
As a young man.
As a guest.
He was a young man before.
He was when I was
a young man. I heard a bear sleeping on a recording. It was a world record.
Jim Varney is now.
So take out your textbooks and write it all down so you remember.
How many Cokes did you have today, sir?
None. Took a nap when I got home.
Me too.
Jim, are you gonna start singing?
No, I'm sorry. Honestly, I was staring into space. I didn't realize anything was happening.
I was just gonna say that Jim Varney, even though we lost him too soon, is immortalized forever as the voice of Slinky Dog in the movies and the voice of Slinky Dog on Slinky Dog Dash in Toy Story Land at Disney World.
That's what I interrupted you saying.
Yeah, how rude of you.
Sorry.
How rude to Jim Varney. You can apologize to him someday.
Yeah.
Someday when you go to heaven and Jim Varney is the first person to greet you at heaven, he's going to be like, I was the first person to greet you at the gates of heaven.
Take out the history books.
That's lore.
It's not me. It's Jim Varney.
No, you'll still be alive.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm going to outlive you. Dang it. Okay, anyway, so we're not doing a quiz today.
What?
I know.
You'd be like, what year did Splash Mountain open?
That's what all the Splash Mountain quizzes were like. Who's the main character of Splash Mountain?
No, here's the thing. I still don't think Brandon was listening. Brandon, what year did Splash Mountain open?
Are you serious? Oh my god!
I didn't say closed. I said open. I made this very clear. I made it so easy for him. I gave him dates. I gave him a timeline of my life.
I just don't remember when Chelsea was born.
How much
I was like,
Chelsea than you?
Here's my thought. Here's my brain. My brain is okay. Splash Mountain opened a year after Chelsea was a month after Chelsea was born. I'm thinking, okay, I don't need to remember the date because it was just a month after Chelsea was born. Yeah. And then you asked me the question. I'm like, wait, crap, I don't remember the year Chelsea was born. And then I'm like, wait,
he wasn't there. To be fair.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I just need to subtract 9 from the year I was born. And I was like, I can't do math that quick because it switches.
Does that help?
No. Wow. That makes it worse.
Shame on you.
Do you really not? Still, you don't know?
What was it, 89?
Yay!
It took me that long to subtract 9 from my birth year.
He's like writing it underneath the table. That was the math.
I had a really scary realization the other day as I was trying to do
You married an idiot?
No.
You already
I
knew
did
that.
not. No. I was trying to do long subtraction in my head, and I was like, how do you do subtraction? And I was like, I'm afraid for the world. Anyways, it's fine. Just me, okay. Let's write some haikus.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Haiku. Chelsea, race car. What?
Okay, we're back. Who wants to go first?
I will do it.
Do it.
Here we go. Zippity doo dah. America's Splastronaut. Jim Varney, legend.
Yeah.
That's
well
sweet.
done.
Thank you.
That's good.
Well
I really
done.
love Splastronaut, and I wanted to get it in
Splastronaut.
there.
We didn't even talk about
We
it.
did it, but I loved it so much, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything because I'm saving that for my haiku.
Love it. That was perfect. I can't believe
Thank
we
you.
didn't even talk about it. Did you want me to keep in, I guess, like how, should I keep in what we said at the beginning of our break, or, because now I need to
I don't
make a
even remember what we
correction.
said.
I need to make a correction that
Correct it.
Jim Varney was not the voice of Slinky for Slinky Dog Dash. I'm sorry. It was
Blake.
Blake Clark.
I almost said Blake Shelton, which would have been really
It
fun.
was Blake Shelton.
Blake Clark. Doing great. Great work out there.
Yeah. Okay. Good job. Good haiku.
Thanks.
I'll go next. Actor, comic, and cultural icon to all. Thank you, Jim Varney.
Aw, nice.
We had the same thought of like,
Yeah.
sweet,
Jim
thanks, Jim Varney. Let's see what
I did not have the same thought.
I'm so excited.
Let's just start there.
Okay, I'm back.
Also, I wrote 2. I know I said
What?
I
You
know
were writing
I know I
instead
said
of
I
listening
wrote
to
one.
me? I'm going crazy. Eyes on you.
I listened and I loved it,
Then what did I say?
but I was struck with inspiration. You said Splastronaut in a haiku. How would
I
that
did.
not be good?
Pretty great.
All right, but I do have 2.
Okay.
Sorry, just checking.
He's like, actually, I have 3.
It may be a Saka haiku. I don't know. I don't really know how to do syllables. I've just been faking it this whole time.
George.
Astro Orbiter. Hear the cheers from the statue and the pretzel cart.
Yeah, nice.
Well done.
Because
was
it's
good.
it's a long line, guys.
Yeah, it is.
Long space. Okay. DSiXL. A 10-year-old's obsession. Chelsea race car. What?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well done.
Now we have
We
to
bring
leave me
back
yelling what in the podcast.
Can we bring back the era of like yelling into your device, like with Nintendogs? You're like, Lucky,
What?
what?
I love that.
Imagine if Animal Crossing, you had to like, we had to do that for Animal Crossing.
And then
Jump.
the mics would peak.
Jump.
Yeah. Mics would peak and it wouldn't recognize
Yep.
what you were saying.
Yep.
Beautiful
The
time.
struggle.
Brandon and
Content.
Brandon and your guys' brother Kyle were in the spa, and I was trying to play Nintendogs over Christmas, and
Don't
I was
annoy
like,
Kyle.
I was like yelling. I don't remember what I named to my dog, but it was like, let's just say for the sake of the story, like Simba or something. But I was like, Simba, 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 and the dog kept being like, what?
What?
And Kyle was so done with me because I did this for like 7 minutes straight, just like Simba, Simba. He was like, I don't think I can hear you.
That's awesome.
Okay, well, thanks to Podcast Red for introducing me to Ernest Goes to Splash Mountain. That is an explicit version of our show if you want to venture over there.
Not family friendly.
Not do that, not family friendly. But anyway, so
Still fun.
great show. Any last thoughts about?
Fun? I'm not
yeah.
a theme park chicken.
Thank you. Sorry. What's our show?
Expediting the process.
Love it. I gotta open my spreadsheet. Okay, Chelsea, fight, flight, or fun?
Fun.
Are you a theme park chicken?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna say fun. I'm not a theme park chicken. Last week, Chelsea, you said so fun.
For what?
So this one for
You don't even remember.
for
Was it
Jedi.
Big Time Rush? Oh, Jedi.
Big Time Rush.
Big Time Rush is so fun.
It is so fun.
Okay.
My days go all together. I don't know what week it is.
It's all right. But this is what happens when we get back on track. We're like,
We're
how many
doing a
witches?
backwards countdown till the end of school, and we're on O today. And I had to write it on my calendar because I'm like, I don't even know what letter we're on. But Reed has been so mad that he still is in school. He's like, Benny's not in school anymore. I don't want to be in school. I'm like, you know what? We have this many days left of school. We're going to do a backwards alphabet countdown. So we started with Z. Now we're on O. And I don't even have to wake him up anymore. He woke up and
Yeah, that's what they're on.
Yeah.
Tomorrow he's gonna wake up and be like, no school.
Not going.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, that concludes episode 37. Can you believe we've made it this far?
You nailed it.
We-
Good job, guys.
We've been doing this for almost a year, maybe a year, but if we
Woo.
were more consistent, we'd be at 52, but we're only at 37. It's fine.
Well, I mean, if we were more consistent, all right, you can't
took
just say a
vacation.
blanket statement like that. If we're hyper consistent, we could be at episode 1,000.
You're so right, bestie. If we were less consistent, we could do it once a year.
We'd be at
We
episode
are
2.
fine.
episode 2. We could have quit the podcast.
What was
We could've
episode
done
2?
anything.
It wasn't Alfred Hitchcock.
Yes.
Hagrid's. It was Hagrid's.
Yeah, we could have been
Chelsea knows
Hagrid's.
everything.
I remember because I remember when we were doing Alfred Hitchcock and you said Hagrid's and I was freaking out. I was like, yeah! Yeah, I remember.
I think Chelsea's the only one of this podcast that listens back to our episodes too. Because I'm too
guys
scared
should.
of cringing. Are they cringy?
No, they're fun.
Okay.
They are fight or fun. They're fun, and my kids like listening to them too. And they're like, "Mom, that was really silly that you said that." And I was like, "I know. We listen in the car now. Just comes up." I'm like,
When we listen back, Kit tries to talk to you guys as we're listening.
"Oh,
She's like, "Hi, Daddy. Hi, Chelsea." I'm like,
hi, kid." Yeah,
can't
I'll put it
hear
in there.
you.
Listen to this episode. Hi, kid. I love you.
Hi, baby girl. Be
All
nice.
right.
Listen to mom.
Thank you for watching.
Oh, you can't cut
You
this
can
out.
watch this whole episode on YouTube. Hello,
Some new
everyone
jar
on
olives.
YouTube.
Hi.
Follow us on Instagram at theme.park.chicken. And tune in next week when we discuss
Something.
Okay, bye!